Welcome to the UpLevel Podcast, Cynthia and David.
Thanks for having us here, Christy.
Well, this one's been a long time coming. The listeners have already heard some of our backstory and just a little bit about your bio, because you're very humble with what you shared, just got to say. And let's dive right in, because the listeners know why I wanted you to be here for our exploration of right relationship. So, Cynthia, how are you defining right relationship in this moment in time?
So, right relationship to me doesn't mean it's not like, oh, everybody gets along all the time and it's all sweet. And it means being in conscious relationship. It means noticing when things are a little off and being able to speak to that and realign.
Great.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And what would you say, David? What's your definition, or what would you add?
I was going to ask you first.
I like that about you.
Because you came up with, we came up like, or.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and folks that are listening who've been along for over a year now that we've been exploring this, my understanding of it keeps evolving. The more people I speak to, the different practices that I'm learning through speaking to people and then practicing the practices and seeing what happens. I think right relationship is a dynamic experience of finding integrity with oneself, with others, with a system or systems, and the natural world around us. That feels really important to me, adding that piece in. I spend my days working inside organizations, but I'm living in the jungle because I knew that in order for me to be in right relationship, I needed to get closer to nature.
Wow.
So, and what I'm learning about, everything as a result of that is significant. So that's my working definition, David. Yeah.
What I'm liking about what you said is there's no right relationship. In some ways, we're finding a rightness.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no one template for what a right relationship is with anybody. We're all in jungles.
That's right. We are all individual jungles, and we are all living in a version of a jungle. Yeah. Right. I love that. I love that.
It's great.
There's this term, and I know you have for many years done a lot of work with CRR Global, and Marita's been part of this conversation. The term all my relations, which is rooted in like indigenous teachings and cultures, but that we are all related on some level. And you can take it literal or you can take it more philosophical. And I know what that does for me is it has me be more conscious about how I interact with everyone and everything. If we are all related, then there's a level of attention and consciousness that feels appropriate. If I am not related to things, I notice I can lose that consciousness and attention. So what are your thoughts around that? And if there's anything you want to weave in around the systems work that you've been doing all these years that feels relevant to this?
Well, there are a few things that are just popping up for me. One, earlier you used the word integrity. And to me, this is integrity and presence. So I know that when I go into the world, whether it's being with you, someone that I've loved for a long time, or my husband, but being in the world, going to the grocery store, going to work with a new group, it's essential that I be present to have right relationship with anyone, anywhere, anytime. And for me, relationship is sort of waiting to happen.
Mhm.
There's not a, oh my God, how do I get in relationship with that person? No, you go to it. You go to it and you be in relationship.
And a portal to that, what I'm hearing is presence. It's like,
Yeah.
and so,
Presence and kind of for me, there's like I actually tend to some people think this is kind of odd. I assume relationship.
mhm,
I tend to assume that other people want to be in relationship. Some are great at it, some don't know how, but if you simply sort of offer it,
mhm.
often people will receive that bid to be in relationship.
Yeah. What are you thinking about there, David Darst?
Two things. One, you can probably tell just by looking at us. Her face is a lot more fun to look at when she's thinking. I can get a little like mean looking occasionally. It's one of the things we've had to design. It's like, oh, that's his thinking face.
Your resting bitch face?
Yeah, it's uh, and there's something about the relationship. When you first asked the question, I think a version of this is true for both of us. Relationships are our teachers.
Mhm.
Mm.
Like we learn from being in relationship. And when we go to right relationship or rightness in relationship, there's in some ways a responsibility on my side to be willing to be both teacher and be taught.
Yeah.
So if you bring in, I know you've looked at the coactive piece where it's coactive. It's not one or the other, but if I'm leaning too heavily in teacher mode,
Mhm.
the rightness of the relationship may not be emerging.
Mhm.
If all I'm doing is sitting back and being taught or judging, um,
You don't know anything about that, do you?
I may not be in rightness of relationship.
Yeah. It's so that's beautiful. And it's making me think about some of the stories you've both shared with me about your journey as life partners. Um, when I think of a couple who's really worked at it, like to be in right relationship and to go on the ride, you two are like top of that list. So again, that's another reason why I wanted you here. And you've been very honest. It hasn't always been easy. And there were times where you're like, I don't know how this is gonna go. So what are some of the ingredients
Mhm.
that has supported such a long relationship and recovering back to the relationship?
Yeah. So just to acknowledge, David and I will be celebrating 40 years of marriage next year.
Wow.
So we're at 39 right now. Wait, I'm like, in one way, I'm like, wait a minute, how did we get it? Like, weren't we just, so there's that.
Well, we just, and we kind of still are.
Well,
That's
I
the
think
paradox of it.
I think there's certain things that get a little but there are other things like there's a connection that we have now. There's a willingness now that we have both grown to say the uncomfortable thing without blaming the other one. And that was so you mentioned Marita. When we first started working with Faith and Marita and learning the work of CRR Global, the ORSC work, one of the things they said to us is, you two need to learn how to fight.
Mm.
And I was like, why? We don't fight. We don't need to fight. No, what we were doing was we were both stonewalling a little bit when it got uncomfortable
So good.
and not speaking what was there to speak. So there are times it'll be messy. I'll bring something up, or David will, and now we have grown over the years some capacity to hear something that we may not want to hear, and to also take a look. What's my responsibility here? What's my side of it? What what haven't I owned? Something like that. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, David.
You said it really kind of good.
Okay, good.
There's so much gold in that. There's so much gold. Right relationship. One of the ingredients is learning how to fight consciously or cleanly.
Yeah, clean, consciously.
Yeah, because the fighting is important. It is part of what deepens intimacy. Conflict is important, but how can we do it in a way that holds wholeness?
That's right.
And then the other one was taking responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So like two important ingredients right there.
Yeah.
There's a piece, and it's like, you know, we've all got trigger words or I don't fight or da 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 da. And it's like, it's just, I can't believe I'm saying this. It's just a word.
Yeah.
Right. For us, when we were looking at fighting, I think what we both had to learn was how to take our own side rather than acquiesce to the other side, and how to speak that side out loud.
This has been a big one. So some people think that if you are in relationship, you need to compromise. And so as a woman with a strong, powerful man, David is, he has a voice of God. I'll say something like, oh, I think we need to do this and so. And he'll go, no, we need this instead. It should be. And I will go, okay. Like, it's a smart idea. It's a good point. But if sometimes it's an okay, you're right. And sometimes it's an okay with a little feeling of disappointment or like, ugh. And so this is the taking your own side. So I've learned now to be able to go, wait a minute. What I'm actually thinking about is this. Let's work this through together.
This is
and
awesome.
Once he can hear my thoughts, then we can work together. Because he doesn't mean to dominate. It has to do with I don't want him to be any less of the man and the strength and the power that he is. I do want us to align, to find our way together.
That's really powerful. I really can relate to that in my relationship with Rachel and my relationship with Mike. Because sometimes when I talk, I'm very confident and I'm like, I know best. And I'm not saying it because I know best. It's the energy that it's coming from. And then they will like be like, okay, but I know that there's something else they're wanting. So I'm going to make sure they listen to this episode. Full permission, Rachel and Mike. And this is what creates something even better than what was the idea on the table, because then the other person gets to infuse their wisdom, their magic. So and I have said to both of them, just because I'm extroverting, like this is what I think, it doesn't mean it's the thing. And so
that's right.
Yeah.
But they won't get it. They won't get it. This happens for me too. Like, because I can, me, extrovert, blah, right? So there is the moment of really truly imagining that there are two or maybe three sides to something.
Yeah.
Let me look a little deeper to what my side is. Let's make sure we're fully hearing your side, your thoughts.
Yeah, and fully's good, and it's kind of a high bar, a little more than you were before.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
A little more than I was before.
Yeah.
So the piece. So I'm a builder. One of the cool things when we started doing the CRR Global or the ORSC work was they did, like, imagine relationships are like a three-legged stool. Mm-hmm. A three-legged stool is really solid because it doesn't wobble. Mm-hmm. There's an eye voice, there's a you voice or the voice of other,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the we voice or the voice of the relationship.
Mm.
If you're only putting your attention on one of those, you're definitely going to fall over.
Mm-hmm.
If you're only putting your attention on two of those, you're definitely going to, you might be a little more stable, but if you got that third, if you're listening for what all three of those are having to say, just a little more, there's going to be more stability in the relationship or the rightness of the relationship. And go ahead.
Well, can each of you remember a defining moment in the journey of the relationship where you said, like, I'm going to basically up-level how I'm relating to this person so we can keep going? Or has there been many moments of that?
Many moments of that. Most recently, it's around being heard.
For you?
For Cynthia. Right. There was a little dynamic that was going on recently where she felt like I wasn't listening to her. So, introverted, introverted processors.
Okay. Right? Can we talk about this one, David?
Yeah, it's a good one. It's recent. So I might remember it.
I love that you're bringing it up. And so it's kind of a funny thing because the ICF core competencies want the coach to be so present and not do any ahas or ums or not to break. But if I'm saying to David, hey, I'm getting ready to do this. I've got this thing happening this afternoon, and so my next call's at 2:00. If he just listens, I actually don't know if there's a there.
Right.
I need him to say, okay, good. I hope you have a good call or something. I need to feel like what I've said has been received. And if it's not, then I think, Jesus Christ, this guy's not listening to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's one thing for him to, and what I know about this man of mine is that when he focuses on something deeply, he can't really process other information. So it's unfair for me to come in and say, hey, I'm going to the gym right now while he's in the middle of a project. He may or may not hear me, and I don't mean to interrupt the project, right? So there's a navigation, but finally I'd had enough non-response, and and I said to him, hey, this is starting to bug me.
Yeah.
And let's talk this through. I just need to know you're hearing me, you're receiving me.
Yeah. Beautiful. That's an example of what you're saying, that this is the process of recovering to right relationship. David, how were you in receiving it? And teach us in the process of how you received it and what happened next.
I overcalibrated.
What does that look like?
I did a really good job of overcalibrating it to where I would do
you want me to show? Should we demonstrate overcalibration?
Sure.
Hey, I think I'm going to the gym.
Cool.
I'll see you later.
All right. And I look forward to seeing you when you get back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We started doing a little too much.
It was almost like not letting her have the last word in, so she would know I heard the word she said previously.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
But in terms of training the dog, because you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's useful to overdo something.
Yeah. Sometimes we have to overcalibrate.
Right.
Yeah. 100%. Sometimes that's the process.
Yeah.
So if you're looking back, you're coming up on 40 years together.
Oh, no. So much more than that.
Oh, yeah.
It's 40 years since we got married. It took us at least 8 years to figure out how to be friends, and that neither one of us were perfect.
78. We met in 78. Most of the people listening to this weren't even born yet.
This is the truth. That's the year I was born. Love it. Okay, so there's just so much wisdom for us to learn.
You could have been our oops baby.
Well, we've talked about that. On a soul level, I am.
That's right.
That is the truth.
It's true.
It is true. So, from each of you, looking back 48 years, almost 50 years then, what's one thing you're really celebrating about this union, about this journey?
Mm.
I like to practice not knowing.
Say that again, David. I'm sorry I cut you off.
I like to practice not knowing.
Not knowing.
Like not knowing anything about your partner who you've known forever. Like it's like she's a mystery to you every day. Is that?
It gets me into trouble sometimes if I think I know. Because then I just pop into a pattern.
And like Cynthia right now is like, what the fuck are you saying, David?
I got her attention, didn't I? But what I know, I like to practice not knowing, but what I know is we are in it for the long haul.
Yeah, I do know that.
And even the rough patch we went through, what I knew is we may not be husband and wife anymore. We were going to be in each other's lives.
Yeah.
And I even said that. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
The role of husband and wife may not be there, but I'm not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be in each other's lives. And that's what I know.
Yeah. We're best friends. Yeah.
And that's been the foundation to recover back to right relationship or restore the relationship if it's felt out of balance. Is that a fair thing to say? It's been one of the.
It's kind of funny, Christy. It's like I'm noticing some stuff. I'm noticing that like about every 10 years, there have been little parts of the relationship we've that have kind of grown that just wouldn't have gotten there before. Not like, oh, everyone should work on this and get here. But there is this, like at this point in the relationship, there's this just like knowing that the relationship is super solid.
Yeah.
Whatever happens with us, whatever, as we start to age. So here we are, just a couple of years from 70 things, we're pretty healthy characters, but we also have little challenges here and there. And so there's always this thought of what's going to happen if one of us is more healthy than the other, or one of us goes through stuff. And there's just this feeling of, even as I do this with my hands, like this feeling of that we work together, we hold each other, that it's going to be okay.
Yeah. How comforting. How comforting to have a mate, that you're both holding it that way.
Yeah.
And each other that way.
Yeah. And we know that one of us, who knows what's going to happen in years coming. At some point, one might not be here unless we fly together somewhere and the plane goes beyond there.
Yeah. Well, see, this feels like another, I don't think it's something we've talked about on the podcast, like right relationship in the context of partnership and death.
Yeah.
How are you having those conversations? What's that look like in your context?
We're both pretty pragmatic. It's kind of funny. And that's like, which especially if part of our original story, like whenever the subject of death came up, I would go fetal position.
Wow. And now
it's like, oh yeah, we're going to die someday. It will hurt. And that's part of it. But, we're putting stuff in place for when that happens. And death is just like another chapter.
Mm-hmm.
But in this chapter, the one we're in right now, that's where we're putting our, I think, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously, putting our focus.
Well, so there's another piece to this. So it's like I think over the years we have both grown, I think, solidly as individuals,
Yeah.
so that if and when one of us dies, the other one will be devastated and will be okay. Like we both are true. And so there, and okay, this may sound weird to some. I absolutely know, because I know this with my parents that are long gone, that if and when, like if he goes before me, he'll still be here. He'll be with me. He won't be able to take care of the damn house anymore, unfortunately. But
But he'll be with you in the
my
energetics.
relationship with him will not end.
Yeah. Yeah.
My relationship with my parents hasn't ended. My relationship, you're right.
Yes.
And
It's
yeah,
beautiful. Really.
It grew us. Our relationship grows us. It will continue to grow us, even if we're not physically present.
Yeah.
And that's another, I think one of the things, I don't know if I put it in the bio, I wanted to put in the bio, whether together or separate, Team Darst is Team Darst.
Mm.
And if I'm in another city, I feel her beside me.
yeah. I did a lot of traveling this year. David's got some coming up, but there's it so separately. We travel separately. We often work separately, and yet there's just a sort of anchoring
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
the other one.
Yep. The energy container is powerful, and you feel it when you're not physically in each other's presence. And also, you know that if one of you passes, that will remain to be true. Yeah. And this feels all like part of the right relationship. It's the unseen is
Yeah.
that we're in relationship with the unseen. We all may not be conscious to that. And from spending a year talking to people about this, I am convinced that it is true. And I've been experiencing it more and more, as I allow my consciousness to be open to that idea. It's like, yes, there is an unseen world, and it's something to be in relationship with.
Oh. The other thing, you brought up something, because I realize relationships, it's like the diversity in relationships, and Cynthia's Inside Team book will work with the diversity of the relationships within ourselves.
Yeah.
And there's a piece of, I had a thought and I lost it.
May I build on it? Because my head was going, of course, the same place your was.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, let's go there.
And of course, bring it back. But so this whole thing about having a right relationship with a partner, there's a finding of interdependence, not dependence, not like, oh my God, if he leaves, all that, not that, but an interdependence where we have our individual lives, and we have a kind of interdependence on each other. If I am feeling like, oh, he's the be all and end all, he keeps me safe in the world, that actually is a bit of a cautionary flag, because he cannot do that for me. Only I can find the way to be safe inside myself. And that's the individual work of noticing what are the parts of you that have something to say about the relationship that you're in.
Yeah. Cynthia, can you let's get more granular. The Inside
Yeah.
Team, your body of work. There's an incredible book, and we'll put this in the show notes. But tell us a little bit about how do we do that?
Yeah, it's great. So Meet Your Inside Team is the name of the book. It's so let's just do this in relationship. Let's imagine that that I am in love with David, which I am, but that I am in love with him. And there's a part of me that thinks, oh, if he leaves, oh my God, does he really? This is really true. This is part of what I got to work out in my, there are a couple of them. Sorry. I'm like, so if he leaves, then who will I be? So check it out. In that scenario, there's a part of me that is needy, that is scared. And I need to find out who that is. I need to find out. Quite often, it's a child energy that actually needs love and attention. Okay? I also had one. I had a part of me that I call stealth pointer.
Ooh.
And stealth pointer would come right alongside right here. Literally, it felt so he would be focused on something else and he'd go walking through the room and not even say hello to me or whatever because he's focused, right? Stealth pointer. Look at that. He's not paying attention to you. He doesn't love you anymore. Oh, why is he looking over there? Why didn't he respond to what you said?
Right. So like collecting evidence for
right.
Yeah.
Right. So stealth pointer is the big evidence collector, right? And I can't say, hey, David, you've got to appease my stealth pointer. That actually is ridiculous. It doesn't work. But I need to go, hey, buddy, who are you?
Get to know this part.
What are you up to? What is it? What is it you're so concerned about?
Yeah.
What do you need?
Yeah.
How can I need to get into right relationship with this part of me? And when that calms down, and the steps to do this are all in the book, for God's sake.
Yeah.
But when that calms down, then I can rest in myself in a way. Now I'm ready to be in relationship with David.
You're more available because the different parts of you that might be blocking, protecting, sabotaging, whatever their MO is, you have self-soothed them and you have given them airtime instead of projecting it on your partner. This is like taking responsibility to a whole another level.
That's right.
And then being verbal about that.
So then coming back and sharing it with you, is this what has happened?
Then we can kind of be co-responsible.
Yeah.
And you're going to mess up.
Of
You're
course.
going to mess up.
You gotta be human.
We've got different work styles.
Yeah.
Right? She's mostly in her office. I use the whole house. I'm moving around. I'm working out. If I'm coaching outside. So I will move through, and
Yeah.
and you would think that I'd have a little light on top of my head. So in coaching now. What does she see? She just sees somebody moving through the house.
Right.
So we do our best, let each other know what's going on, and we forget. We're getting better at recovering when we realize that, oh yeah, that thing we designed, it sort of worked, but it didn't exactly work. But
yeah. So let's revisit it.
Yeah.
David, I'm so curious, like as a man, and like words that Cynthia used to describe you, and I describe you the same. Like you're a very powerful alpha male. Not all men want to be in conversations like this. At least that's my lived experience. Now, I would love to have these conversations with every single male. but I'm wondering, like, okay, I make up it wasn't always like this, and I think I know that it wasn't from some information you've given me, but like what was for you the catalyst to say, I am going to be open to conversations like this?
Oh, wow.
I still don't want to be.
Oh, interesting. So what has you make yourself available?
I'm willing to be. Sometimes. I can't speak for all men. What I can speak is for myself. When I hear the words, we need to talk, I go to, oh, great. It's going to be a 40-hour conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it translates to, oh, that means I need to listen. Right? Or, oh my gosh, I'm going to get asked for words that I don't have yet.
Mm.
I'm trying to think. There was a catalytic moment when she made me take a coactive coach training. And by the way, if you were to ask me that powerful question right now, I still would say I don't have one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But it actually goes back to underneath. She tried to enroll me in taking a coach training for about 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
She knew in her heart that I would enjoy it and I would be good at it. But convincing me, all that stuff wasn't working. But she took her own side. She came home and said, I think you think, and by we both have different versions of what came out of her mouth and what I heard. So I'm going to tell you what I heard. What I heard was, I think you know what I do, and I don't think you have a clue. I want you to sit in the first course whether you like it or not. And I was like, oh, wow, you took a stand. Well, that means that much to you. Of course, I'll sit in the course whether I like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I was there.
That was part of it.
This could be. And it was, I remember it to this day. It was Chuck Ruppel's very first course lead. He's a friend of ours still to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And they had designed their alliance that they were going to dance and work with each other. And Jim Patterson, another person that you know, no longer here, but still influencing and impacting my life, whether he's dead or not, just says, take it away, Chuck. Chuck looks over, says, oh, that's Cynthia's husband. He'll be easy. In his moment of panic, had not gotten the backstory, walks over and says, so, David, what is your dream? And I looked up at him and said, I don't have one. He panicked, said, well, what if you did? I said, sorry, I got nothing. The next part of that exercise is for the person that just shared their dream is to ask you. He said, well, then ask me what mine is. And I went, oh, okay. What's your dream? And he told me, and I said, oh, that's kind of cool. And I thought, I can do this.
Ask
Right?
people what their dream is.
I can get my attention off myself and put it over there. So, and I think, and it's like, what do you make up the answer to your question is by the story I just told?
I forget my question now.
How does a alpha male be willing to have conversations like this?
I don't know. Like one is, Cynthia, you got something.
Well, I would offer a couple of pieces to it.
Because there's a lot.
One, you used to, years and years ago when we were young, there would be something in the space and I would say, let's talk about this. And you'd say, I'm not talking about it. You were just shut down. You would shut off the conversation. And it took me a few years of really gaining my gravitas to be able to say, I don't care if you don't want to talk about it. We're talking about it. And being, so one is you started getting, if I'm going to have her stick around in my life, I've got to learn it. I've got to talk about, I think you got that. And I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
And I just got something.
Good. Let's hear it.
Help me out here. That energy. So I think what you're describing is a protector. What you're describing as an alpha male is a protector. And if you give me the opportunity to perhaps be protective in a slightly different way, I might be willing to have a different conversation.
I love that.
Wow.
That's powerful.
And then I find out it's actually not that person that I'm protecting. there's part of me that I might be protecting
Yeah.
that maybe didn't need protecting after all.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the willingness, the openness, what some people call the vulnerability of it.
Mm-hmm. So for both of you, Cynthia, longer being a practitioner of the work and like a pioneer in the field, and David, you've been now for many years too. How has being practitioners and being leaders in this space supported you to be in right relationship in any context?
Well, it feels like, how hasn't it, right? Like, I'm thinking about little fundamental skills about learning how to listen to another person and not have to have my opinion of what they're saying going on this all the time, but to really listen to what's important to this other person. What are they saying? What is it? And to allow myself to be curious without thinking that I know I don't. Look at this. We've known each other almost 50 years. There is so much I don't know about him, about how he thinks, about how he might see a certain situation. I can make some assumptions, but I will often miss the mark if I think I know.
It would help if I talk more. And you've co-led with me. You've worked with me. When it comes to ideas, I can pontificate for days.
Yeah.
When it comes to feelings and emotions, I don't always have words for them.
Mm.
When it comes to connecting, I connect energetically. I don't always have words that create the connection.
Yeah.
So I'm building, how do I add words?
Yeah.
And she has taught me how to use words more. And she is energetic more.
One of the many things I love about witnessing your relationship, one, it's what I see, and again, I could be making these things up, but this is what I see.
Make it up good, though. Dream it up really powerful.
Dream it up really powerful, David. But David, I see how much you adore Cynthia, like really adore her, like the way you talk about her when she's not around, and also when you're in her presence. There's this like delight and adornment of this human being that you get to call your life partner. And Cynthia, what I see in you, I see you adore David too. And I also see this commitment to co-leadership. And that was like another theme I want to do an episode on. And I thought definitely having the two of you on that. But I want to bring it in here because what I see in you, Cynthia, is what David just said. Sometimes I don't have the words, but he feels it. There's an energetics. You have just such an incredible way of co-leading with David. Like you were meant for each other for a model of co-leadership in the world. And I really respect, that about you, Cynthia, and respect David, the way I see you see your partner. Like there's so much to learn how you both hold each other and dance with each other.
I've been slightly distracted on this call, noticing that David has next to his name a couple of dots and co-leader, and I did not. But it
It's perfect.
It feels sort of like that's here. Well, one of the things you're pointing to, even when we go in to work with a group or team, we actually, since I tend to talk or I'll tend to respond pretty quickly, we've actually designed it between the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
That I'll be the one who primarily does that rather than expecting David to.
Mm-hmm.
David does this beautiful thing of kind of hanging back, watching what's going on, hearing the thing. And then there will be a moment where he kind of steps in and I kind of pull back and he usually delivers some brilliant observation
brilliant.
that I've halfway missed, right? And that then that works for us, but it's not unconscious. It's not I'm the talker, he's quiet. It's really
You've designed
this
it.
is the best use of us.
Yes, you've consciously designed this from 50 years of doing this thing together. First unprofessionally, now professionally, and you've worked at it. Like it's like I see you both always seeing the best in each other. That's another quality I see both of you bring forward, which makes a co-leadership so powerful.
Our shifting mechanisms have gotten better. So it's not that we don't
what?
judge, make each other we're getting better at realizing we're in that gear.
Yeah.
And in some circumstances, we're like this new electric car that just shifts really quickly.
Yeah.
And occasionally, we're a 1960 Volkswagen Beetle that the clutch doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it's a jerky ride.
Yeah. Blessed
we
ride.
Figured out ways to laugh at ourselves when we've had a jerky ride.
This is all going to be in the show notes, but Cynthia, can you tell us how listeners who may not know your work can find your work, yours and David's?
Yeah, well, first, we've got an antique website called teamdarst.com. And it's antique because we are
younger looking.
We're younger looking, but it's not it's like we don't really care about that, right? We're working with plenty of clients and we're doing things. On that, you'll find a link to a TEDx talk that I did about safe inside yourself. And you'll also, I believe, the name of the book on Amazon is Meet Your Inside Team. And it's useful.
It's super useful. It's super useful. And so for our business leaders listening, it's a good resource for yourself and your teams. And for our fellow practitioners, if you haven't yet got it, it's an amazing, it's a tool for you to take into your practice even.
Before COVID, it was actually required reading for the MBA candidates at Loyola Marymount University.
That's incredible, Cynthia.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
So as we're wrapping up this particular conversation, may we have many more that celebrate like so many things that you both co-created and offer brought to this world. What's your final words of wisdom around right relationship for people in any context? Or if you want to speak it from the context of, partners who are romantic and work together, that's fine too. Kind of like a final words for now. Just a little question to wrap it up.
Right. What comes up for me, I'm not entirely sure what this means, but what comes up is you're not alone.
Yeah. And so folks who don't watch the video of this, Cynthia is like holding her heart and like giving it out. And I know it's more of a metaphor. It's not just like you're saying, Cynthia's here, you're saying like we're all connected somehow. Like this is
yeah. And like if you're talking right relationship, it's not up to you to be the relationship or to hold the relationship. You're not alone. Be in relationship. Reach to the other person. Receive the other person. Be curious about them. Or other thing, or the thing you're creating, or the thing that or the group that you're working with. I know that one piece personally is that I get very anxious if I think things are up to me. I'll start really driving. But when I know I'm in relationship, I relax. I'm much more spacious.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Old Bull.
Couple things. Remember I said dream us up?
Yeah.
one of the things we found out we were both doing is because we led courses and we would lead and we would interact with groups after the other one had. And show up in a course room, Cynthia would hear, your husband, what you said, your husband adores you, your husband loves you. He's got so much respect for the work you do in the world. Right?
I was like, really? Why didn't he ever tell me that? Right?
So that's the piece. If you notice you're talking about someone that you're in relationship with to other people, make sure they're getting that information too.
Oh, that's so good.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good. Yeah, there's another antidote for creating right relationship is it's the twofer. Talk highly about the people in your lives when they're not around and tell them to their face the things that you admire and appreciate and adore about them.
And it's also useful to use both of their languages.
Mm.
So as coaches, we're trained to use the client's language.
Mm.
And a blend of both is, I think, what makes the relationship powerful. I don't have to give up acts of service.
Yeah.
But it's useful if I throw some words in with those acts of service.
Right.
Acts of service is my love language.
His main love language, acts of service.
Yeah. And Cynthia, yours is words of affirmation?
I don't know. I kind of
It's definitely words.
And we're quality time, you know, like words and touch. And,
yeah. Those are my two right there.
Right.
I love you both so much. Thank you for being who you are in the world. Thank you for being who you've been for me. And I hope we'll continue to journey together as soul family and who you've been to our extended community. I hope you know what an impact you've had and continue to have, and the way you model right relationship in your container. And I just adore you and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah. And thanks for giving us the opportunity to up-level our relationship.
Hey, you know it.
We love you, Christy.